But until then, we still live in a fallen world, and your value system and the value system of the people you work with still differ. And because of that, there's a crash of value system in the world. And therefore, you will experience some tension. And I think God uses those tension to actually mold us. So if you're looking for a perfect workplace, there isn't. And don't try and start one also, because probably you won't find it there as well. I mean, we can try to run our companies and all that on Christian values and all that. But invariably, there will be crashes. There will be situations where God molds us through difficult relationships and stuff like that. It will happen. I have to take this to about 12:30, if you don't mind, because I have to finish all the material. I can stop any time, but the tape cannot, so I got to finish out. So if you are finished before me, please feel free to go. Okay, all right. So how can we enjoy our work? Now, in the light of everything that we have discussed, I'd like to suggest to you 3 things we need to do. Number 1 is this. If you want to start enjoying the work that you're doing, number 1, shift your perspective. Change your paradigm with regards to the way we view our work. God commands us to work. Therefore, in the final analysis, when we work, brothers and sisters, we are serving God and not man. Amen? We're serving God, not man. Whatever work it is that we do is a command from God. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 and 24. Let's read this together. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for man. Since you know that you receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. Amen. And within this context, remember Paul is speaking to slaves. People who have been oppressed by their masters, and yet Paul tells them your focus must be on correct attitudes, correct conduct. In short, the what and the why of working. Stay on that. Okay, keep the attitudes right. Now I was reading a book written by a guy called Tim Holloway. Tim is not a Christian. He's actually a tennis coach, and he wrote a book entitled The Inner Game of Work. It's a very interesting book about work from a secular perspective. But what I found interesting was, in this book, he talks about something which he called the work triangle. And in his research about workers in the marketplace, from a secular perspective, he discovered that there are 3 things that modern workers are looking for today. One of them is performance. Okay? Then after that, there's one on enjoyment. 3 things people are looking for in their work. Performance, enjoyment, and learning. 3 things he found. And when I saw that triangle, something struck me. That actually, these are the 3 things that will come if we follow the biblical reasons for working. And even the secular world in their study of work found the same thing actually. That, for example, why do we perform? We perform because work is a command from God. Isn't that right? Our first reason for working is a command from God. Therefore, I want to do my utmost for His highest. I approach my work in a spirit of excellence. That's why I perform. See, and people are looking for performance today in their workplace. If you cannot perform your job well, after a while, you will lose a sense of fulfillment. Make sense? So, if we really do it out of that right spirit, I do in the spirit of excellence, because the command from God, it helps us to perform. And then if we believe that our work is a platform for our ministry, we will enjoy it. Now tell me, how many of you believe that you enjoy your ministry? Do you enjoy your ministry? You do, right? So, listen, if you recognize your work is a platform for your ministry, you begin to enjoy your work. And how many of you like to learn? We are all learners actually. We all like to learn. And there's no better way to learn than actually through life on life. Our work is a means to our transformation. It changes us. And you know what? Actually, when you think of work in that way, we don't just learn the technical abilities or the skills that is involved in your work, but actually you learn to become better people. Take it from God's perspective. You learn to become better people. And we all know today knowledge is so important. We live in a knowledge economy, they say. Peter Drucker himself, the management guru, made this statement in this book. It says, knowledge is different from all other resources. It makes itself constantly obsolete, so that today's advanced knowledge is tomorrow's ignorance. And the knowledge that matters is subject to rapid and abrupt shift, from pharmacology to genetics in the healthcare industry, or from PCs to the internet in the computer industry. The productivity of knowledge and knowledge workers will not be the only competitive factor in the world economy. It is, however, likely to become the decisive factor. And I think that's true. We live in a knowledge economy today. What we consider to be advanced knowledge today, tomorrow is obsolete already. Things are changing so fast. And we've got to become people who are constantly learning in order to do well in today's knowledge economy. Now, can you imagine God is also teaching us at the same time? Through all the experiences in our workplaces, transforming us more and more into the likeness of His Son. So, my challenge to us would be, shift your perspective when it comes to your work. Stop seeing your work as purely a means to make a living or to get a paycheck. It is much wider than that. Okay? It is a command from God. That's why we do it well. It is a platform for our ministry. That's why we look for divine opportunities to share the gospel, to carry out our ministry of reconciliation. It is actually a means to our transformation. That's why we're not afraid of the hard times we go through, because God is transforming us. Second thing you need to do, shift your perspective. Number 2, focus on people. Focus on people. Your work is going to take you to places I cannot go. It puts you in touch with people I can never reach. So you must focus on the people that God allows your path to cross in your workplaces. Because you are going to meet people I can never meet. See? That's why we recognize that the people that we end up having to work with, they are divine appointments for us. Are you with me? They are divine appointments for us. So please don't keep on saying, how do I get rid of this person from my office? How do I get rid of that person? I should pray this one out. I should pray that one out. Maybe God put them there because they are divine appointments for you. See, and we recognize that as being important. I have a group of young adults that I mentor from another church, and there's one girl there who is always complaining about her work. Always complaining about her, the stuff that goes on. She's dissatisfied, this and that, hates her job. Until one day we talk about work, and then she decided that she's going to focus on her colleagues instead of her own job satisfaction or comfort zone. And that change in attitude, I tell you, brought about a fresh breakthrough in her work life. Today when we meet, she's no longer complaining about her work. She's always sharing about, wow, this colleague of mine has begun to be open to the gospel. This person has asked me questions about God, and she becomes excited every day when she goes to work, because she recognizes that there are divine appointments happening. See, when we are others-centered, new meaning come into our work. Others-centered. This is in line with the teaching of the gospel of the Bible, like Ephesians 4:28. Why don't we read this together? He that has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work, doing something useful with his own hands, so that he may have something to share with those in need. Do you notice something there? Paul challenges those who have been stealing. He says, no, you mustn't steal, but you must work. But for what? So that, that's the operative word, so that he may have something to share with those in need. Again, others-centered. Okay, it's all about others. If we live for others, new meaning comes. When we understand the mission behind our work, we are not going to manipulate people, but we will minister to them. We stop loving things and using people, but we start to love people and we use things. And people who work with us, they will feel it and they will know it. They know it. People can feel it. So, number 1, shift your perspective. Number 2, focus on people. Here's the third thing. Clarify your purpose.